Hi, it's Xavier, and I'm down the bottom of the garden, and it's what are we now, the 18th of November? It's getting cold. We haven't yet got our first freezing night, but just getting to the last few knockings of stuff that I can do. And today I'm actually going to do a root on rock with a ficus, and that's thanks to some inspiration. I'm sure it was Bonsai Jardin, a little Jadaweave. Anyway, yeah. But I'll show you the card somewhere up there if it is. So before we go and do that, I'm just going to show you my olives, because they're fruiting up. We've had a couple of strange things. I know Tony mentioned it in one of his videos that buds are swelling, and certainly on my Italian alder I've got some swelling buds. But I thought I would show you how my olive's getting on. And we have got, I mean, they're not black olives, of course they're not, but they're all colours are turning. So yeah, that's the first time I've had any of my olives actually get that far in development. I mean, it's hitting winter now, so I don't think they're going to get much further. But the other thing I was going to show you, I've been working on some Japanese quince, and I had two that Dawn, who was here, let me have some pots, said they're flowering, and she kindly offered to take the nice red one which I've been working on in exchange for a pot, which I'm sure was a fair deal. But then she said this one, which was a white flower Japanese quince, the flowers are ready to burst forth like song from a choralist. It's a choralist, someone who sings on the barrier reef. That was really a dad joke. Yeah, so you know, the reality is nothing good's going to happen with these flowers. It's getting colder, you know, we've got tips all breaking off, but yeah, so very interesting. I just thought I'd show you that ficus, and why I'm going to do a root on rock now. And the reason is the ficus are all indoors now. They're showing a great growth spurt, which means there's a lot of energy in there, and I saw someone else doing it, so I thought, sounds like the thing I should be doing. Da-da! So, what do you need when you're going to do a root on rock? You need rock with lots of interesting fissures and crevices and nooks and crannies and stuff to put all those roots, and a smaller backup one in case you want to put something on the side there. Pot, because you're going to bury most of this. I use this raffia. I use raffia to secure it. I use the raffia because it slowly degrades, hopefully over the period of time that it takes the roots to cling to the rock. I've got some tin foil because I saw Yellow using tin foil, and I've also seen cling film being used, but I haven't done that, so I'll keep that there just in case there seems an opportunity. And of course you need some suitable little younger stock rather than older. So let's have a look. I don't intend to be cutting up roots or anything, and I've never done this on a ficus at this time of the year. So these ficuses are all cuttings from my parent tree. Hopefully we're going to have lots of roots, because if we haven't, there's not much point doing it, and I'll be putting it back in the soil. Okay. Well, and there's always an inclination to use something that's got bigger, harder roots, but the truth is you actually want a lot of fine roots, because the fine roots become big roots, and they're also easier to manipulate. And that's my phone telling me I've got prayers to do. Hang on. I've got this one, and you can actually see it's got, probably can't, they're all ready to send out new shoots. So, lovely. Have a look at the roots on this one. Not only has it got that, it's also got a little jade growing in it. Which does tell you obviously that I grow these near the same place as the jades. How many roots has that got on it? It's got some little roots on it. I've got so many jades, I really don't need that. Lovely base on it. As I say, these cuttings are a couple of years. They're in their second year, I think. Now these have already had tap roots being cut and things like that. There's one coming out here. Oh, we need to see what we're going to do with that. Obviously the key is to try and find a position on the rock that sits in with the tree itself. It also allows for roots to follow channels and bits of the rock to grip. So maybe it'll sit like that. So what you're trying to do is to make sure that the tree stays exactly where you want it, and the roots as well. What I'm doing is just using a bit of sphagnum some of the areas just to hold the root in how I want it. Just means also any crevices or air that may exist within the rock are also covered up. It's always a case, you always need more hands than you've got when you do this. So, I'm literally just putting it sideways there, and now I'm just going to put soil in around it. And as you're seeing, I'm not actually using the foil. Okay. Now, I want as much foliage on this as possible, so I won't cut anything. The thing about doing the root on rock, it is relatively simple. If you get those roots into crevices, and that's the key, and also don't necessarily perch it like on top of the rock. I mean, you don't see many trees on like that, but maybe sideways, or you know, this one. I'm going to try and get this one so it. This one I might actually put on. Younger roots means you're more likely to get some good gripping going on. Do something like that. Don't mind with that one. But yeah, and the truth is with this, as I've done with, I've got my Chinese elms, I've got my trident maples, all done in the same way. Tin foil, I think I'll be using for the sandwiches. And I know what that is. That's if you've actually got a lot of the roots over the top and you already want to have that rock out of this soil, so you probably want to dry whatever. You put the tin foil around the top, darkens. That's just darkened. I bet it's going to rain, isn't it? Yeah. So yeah, but this is the way I do it. And I suppose what will happen is this is sort of 2 to 3 years, so I need to get this go really big so that the roots expand, get stronger, gripping some of those crevices, and then each year I'll probably remove a centimetre or so of soil from the top, just have a look and see how those top roots are looking, and that's really how it is. So that's going to be my ficus roots on rock. Not a lot to look at right now, is it? But I promise you next year I'll be showing you how I've got on with that'll be the first or second year root on rocks. But I'm going to have a go with this one as well, see how it goes. I'll come back to that in a sec. Okay, so I had to go and find another rock that I got from Orkney, still in the boot. It's got 2 big trenches that go down either side, so I've wrapped the roots either side, and I don't know whether it's going to come more like that or like that, but initially I'm going to bury it down, and all I've done, I've got the wire, I've got the roots all coming down this way, coming down this nice big fissure, and into some soil. And again, the whole idea of me using this stuff is that it will hold it tight for certainly the first 3-4 months, and then as it starts to rot, that will have given enough time for the roots to, in this case, have grown into the channels. And as I always say, frustrating thing about root on rock is that that's all you see for now. And you've just got to be patient, and I'll always say, if you're going to start doing root on rock, find as many rocks as you can, and all your little cuttings and seedlings, as soon as they've got some roots on them, I think you see it in one of Yale's videos as well, get them on those rocks while the roots are small, young, plants vigorous, and then you really do want to just forget it, and that's it. Put a little label in to say, oh yeah. But yeah, so 2 ficus root on rocks, and hopefully we're going to see some results of those in another year. And it may be that one of the ways of doing this is that what you try and do is hopefully the soil have compacted enough, and the next time I visit it properly I'll actually try and pull the whole thing out, and there should hopefully be enough roots to hold it together so that I can lift it higher, take the top centimetre off, put more soil down beneath so I can get more roots growing down. But yeah, never tried doing indoor ficus, so we'll see how they work out. So from Xavier, down the bottom of the garden, looking at his oak forest. It's getting to the later part, to be honest. There's still leaves on it. Normally do my oaks in the spring, but I might do one of them now. Anyway, so from Xavier, from the bottom of the garden, hope everything's going great for yourselves, and your bonsai are smiling and looking happy, or your pots are getting bigger and grander. And if you've enjoyed any of this content, please hit the like button, at least hit the like button, and if you know of anyone else who might be interested, share it. I don't have any other social media, so this is literally my only way of getting the message out there, so that would help me a lot. Coming to the end of the first year, I'm really ecstatic, excited by how much fun I've had and how many people I've met and chatted with, but you know, the bug's inside me, so I'd love to get a wider following. And you're the guys who can help me, guys. I'm going to get in trouble with that, aren't I? The guys and gals who can help me with that. Anyway, so from Xavier, the bottom of the garden, I wish you all happy bonsaiing. I wish you a great weekend, in my case, coming up to it now. And I say God bless. Cheers.